Hello guys, welcome back. My name is Nathan, and today I'm going to be making my early 2021 NHL award picks and favorites. Now, we are basically a quarter of the way through the NHL season, and we've seen a lot of players rise up to the occasions and be fantastic for their teams, but when it comes to the four major awards, there has been so much competition this season that it's kind of crazy. But for the Hart, the Vezina, the Norris, and the Calder trophies, who do I see as the best players for each category? And who do I think deserves to win a quarter of the way through this NHL season? Watch till the end for all of my picks, all of the favorites, and hit that subscribe button if you're new. 70% of the people that are watching the videos are not subscribed, so make sure you do so for more hockey videos just like this. Now, it really is my luck that the one time I can't record inside, there's a freaking dog next door and there's freaking construction 2 doors down. Anyways, we're gonna make the most of it and still keep our award prediction, our award picks going here today. So, when I said earlier that every award has a lot of competition, I was not lying. It's not even just the Hart Trophy. Like the Calder Trophy, for instance, is probably one of the closest races we've seen, or we've seen in like years. It's been that chaotic. So, making these picks a quarter of the way through has been a little bit difficult, but I will try my best here today. Now, we're going to start out with the Hart Trophy this time around and work our way down for the Norris, the Vezina, and then the Calder Trophy, and then later on in the video, I'll go for my most improved player award, which absolutely should be an NHL award. We're going to start out today with the Hart Trophy and go for my picks and my honorable mentions as well. And starting out with the honorable mentions, before we get into the actual award winner, I have 3 guys that I think are absolutely deserving to be in the conversation, but haven't quite gotten to that #1 level. We're starting out with Auston Matthews of the Toronto Maple Leafs, Cale Makar of the Colorado Avalanche, and Alexander Barkov of the Florida Panthers. Now, when it comes to Auston Matthews, he's probably the closest player out of these 3 to be my Hart Trophy winner. But with Mitch Marner also doing fantastic, I think it kind of lessens his odds. But Matthews has been fantastic this year, especially on offense, of course, where right now he's 6 above the second leading goal scorer in Connor McDavid with 18 goals so far, and he's been absolutely stupendous in a lot of different areas. His defense has been rock solid. His overall game has been rock solid, but his offense is where obviously he makes his money. But he's been absolutely worth that contract this season and has been the Maple Leafs MVP. When it comes to Cale Makar, he has been awesome on that defense. One of the best defensemen in the NHL, just entirely in the NHL this season, and he's been a big reason why Colorado hasn't fallen down the cliff. Even when Colorado started off rough, Cale Makar was still easily one of my favorites for the Hart Trophy and potentially the Norris Trophy as well. He has been almost better in every single way compared to his rookie season, which was pretty good, by the way, and he's doing awesome in his sophomore season. Now going on to Alexander Barkov, who I thought defensively has taken some steps back since around 2017, but he has been amazing overall this season and has really brought defense back to his game in full. Now, the offense has been fantastic with him. Huberdeau has been more on the offensive side, I would say, but Barkov is back to that almost Selke Trophy level, and if he does win the Selke Trophy this season, I would not be mad whatsoever, and right now, he might deserve it. But we're going to go on to the winner of the Hart Trophy. In my opinion, even though Auston Matthews, I would say, is a close second, to me, the #1 and the Hart Trophy winner up to this point has to be, from the Edmonton Oilers, Jesse Puljujarvi. I'm going to go, well, Jesse Puljujarvi is a beast, that is for sure, but Connor McDavid will take home the Hart Trophy this season, I think. Even though we're only a quarter of the way for the season so far, I think Connor McDavid definitely deserves it and will eventually get it. The big thing with Connor McDavid is it's not just the points he's getting. He's gotten 37 points in 20 games, and that's still freaking incredible, but it's the overall game that Connor McDavid has had. The big problem with McDavid these past couple of seasons, I would say specifically these past 2 years, has been the defense. His defense, especially last year, was terrible. That just to put it bluntly, it was horrible. And if he could always have brought that part of his game to his game, there would be no doubt that he was the #1 player in the league. The only reason why Nathan MacKinnon was even considered to be better than McDavid last year was because you have the whole defensive argument, which I can stand for, but I still have McDavid as the #1 player by far. He has proved this season that he can pretty much do it all. He's had the points, he's had the offensive output, the play driving, the overall game, the defensive play has been outstanding. He's been one of the best defensive players in the entire league this year, while also handedly leading the league in points and just being Connor McDavid. But now we're going to move on to the Norris Trophy picks, and I kind of alluded to who I think should be the winner in my Hart Trophy picks, but we're going to go through the 3 honorable mentions, guys that have had fantastic years on D that I think definitely do deserve to be mentioned in the conversation. Now, I would say the Norris Trophy this year, when I'm looking at the 4 major ones, the Hart, the Norris, the Vezina, and the Calder, this, in my opinion, probably is the least close out of the 4, especially when it comes to the top player in the Norris Trophy debate. But for my 3 defensemen that I think definitely do deserve to be mentioned, I'm going to start off with Miro Heiskanen from the Dallas Stars, then going on Charlie McAvoy of the Boston Bruins, Victor Hedman of the Tampa Bay Lightning, and then honorable mention to Jeff Petrie of the Montreal Canadiens. But those 3, Heiskanen, McAvoy, and Hedman, I think lead the honorable mention race. When it comes to Heiskanen, I'm a Dallas Stars fan. I watch him every single day. It's the little things, it's the defensive play, it's the overall game that really stands Heiskanen out. You saw the poise in the playoffs, you saw the maturity in the playoffs. That's obviously been throughout his NHL career, but he's gotten to an amazing level where he's so quiet, so composed, so fantastic in his own zone that he has turned into one of the best overall defensemen, I think, in the league, and is still keeping that going this season as well. When it comes to Charlie McAvoy, he was my pick. Oh, this chair's breaking. He was my pick for the Norris Trophy this year as to be the guy who would win it. I thought he had a great opportunity with guys like Krug going away and Chara going away to truly get that opportunity. I think he started off a little bit slow, but these past few weeks have been a lot better with McAvoy this last month or so, and I think he's been the best Boston Bruins defenseman this year. This is a guy that, in terms of a lot of the offensive things, is very good, but defensively, especially last year, I thought got super underrated for how quiet, how low-key he was. Obviously bringing a lot to his game from a guy like Zdeno Chara, but he has his own identity. He has his own defensive makeup, and it's really worked for him. It's really worked for the Boston Bruins, and I think he is, as well, one of the best young defensemen in the NHL. Then going on to Victor Hedman, who is Victor Hedman. I mean, this year he's a point per game. He's playing very, very solid for Tampa, is once again that #1 guy on the defense. Tampa, I think, defensively has taken a little bit of a step back from last year, but I don't think Victor Hedman has really been the reason why. I think defensively he hasn't been Norris caliber like he has in the past, but I think he's been great, and offensively he's been as good as ever, so I think he deserves an honorable mention and deserves to be in the conversation for the Norris Trophy. But we're going to go on to the player who should win the Norris Trophy, and it's pretty obvious, that coming from the Colorado Avalanche in Cale Makar. Now, Cale Makar right now is a point per game through 12 games played with 1 goal, 11 assists, 12 points. Right now in the entire NHL when it comes to defensemen, he is leading in expected goals against per 60. He has been one of the best defensive players in the league this season, and that's the big thing that I think has changed with Cale Makar's game compared to last season. I was always in love with his offensive game, going back to when he was before he was even drafted with the Colorado Avalanche. Loved his skating, loved his offensive potential, but the defense I thought always could have used some work, and especially last year in the playoffs, especially versus teams like Dallas, I thought that got pretty exposed. But this year, man, he has been such a rock for the Colorado Avalanche, not just on defense, but on offense as well. He's been a top 10 defenseman there as well, too, and combining that with his just profound defensive play he's somehow found this year, this is a guy who I think should win the Norris Trophy and should be in the debate for one of the most valuable players in the entire NHL this season. Not just for defensemen, but for all the players in the league right now. But now we're going to go on to the Vezina Trophy, and in some ways this race might be the closest out of all of them, but there's really only 4 guys that I think have truly been up to an elite tier this season, but all 4 of these guys have been really, really elite. It's been a bad year for goaltending, but these 4 guys have absolutely proved that wrong. Now going on to the honorable mentions for the Vezina Trophy, these 3 guys have all been fantastic for their teams. I'm going to start out honorable mention wise with Marc-Andre Fleury, who I think would be my #1 choice if it weren't for this #1 goaltender. He has been stupendous this season and has proved me wrong quite a bit, because I would say last year I was fully on the Robin Leonard train. I thought Fleury took a little bit of a step back, but this year, hey, maybe he just needed to be stabbed by Peter DeBoer to get that level of playback, because he has been absolutely amazing. And for my next honorable mention, I'm going to go with Andrei Vasilevskiy. He's another guy that I've had some problems with in the past and being a little bit overrated. I still thought he was a great goaltender and a top 10 one for sure, top top 5, but I didn't see him as a number 1 before last season, but obviously he won the Stanley Cup, was great in the playoffs specifically, which was key, and then this year, I think is having the best regular season he's ever had. I think there has been some times where Vezina Trophy-wise, he didn't quite deserve it over some other guys. I'm still salty about that one year Ben Bishop outplayed him and still lost, but with Vasilevsky, there's no doubt he's been one of the best goaltenders this year. I think Tampa's defense has taken a step back, but Vasi has taken a step up and has been brilliant for them. You also got, in my opinion, one of the best and underrated goaltenders in the league in Kevin Lankinen of the Chicago Blackhawks. I've been on Lankinen's train for a while now, since that 2019 World Championships, but I never expected him to be this good. I thought he would be a decent, potentially solid starter in the NHL, but being this good in his first NHL season, I did not put on my bingo card. He has been electric for Chicago, and has been one of the main reasons why they have been a competitive team. They've been solid, but Lankinen, in my opinion, is the reason why. Alright, so quick note, this is editing grab, and I just realized that in that recording, I did not actually say my Vezina Trophy winner, which is in fact German stud, Philip Grubauer, 936 save percentage. He's in the Colorado Avalanche, not the greatest defense in the world, but he's an absolute GOAT, and so far, just slightly, will be my Vezina Trophy winner. So there you go. It's windy out here. Sorry. But now we're going to get into the debate of the ever-elusive Calder Trophy, and you could probably notice a pattern over these past few years, I would say, where it's been competitive at the top. You maybe have 1, 2, or 3 Calder Trophy nominees that are really up to a Calder Trophy level. You have some great debate there, but this year there's like 8 different guys who I think you could make the case for the Calder Trophy, and it made a lot harder of a job to rank all these guys. But we're going to start out with my honorable mentions here, and I have like 6 different honorable mentions because I could not resist myself. I'm sorry. So many great young talents in the NHL this season to start off. Going to my honorable mentions, though, for my first honorable mention, I have Kirill Kaprizov from the Minnesota Wild, going on to Josh Norris of the Ottawa Senators, Nils Höglander of the Vancouver Canucks, Ty Smith from the New Jersey Devils, Tim Stutzle of the Ottawa Senators, and then last but not least, Keandre Miller of the New York Rangers. And all of those honorable mentions are guys that you can make the case for. With Kirill Kaprizov, I think he's the closest to number 1, but he missed some time with the Minnesota Wild, and the Minnesota Wild missed some time, so I think that drops him back a little bit. You got Josh Norris, who I think is the most underrated rookie in the league this season. I know a lot of Sens fans are talking about Tim Stutzle, but Josh Norris has been a number 1 C caliber guy and isn't looking out of place, which I think is a humongous win for the Sens going forward and a humongous win for that franchise already. You got Nils Höglander, who's been really solid for the Vancouver Canucks, really one of the only players consistently putting in effort and putting in the play driving, and for Vancouver, he's been one of their MVPs in the forward group, I would say. You've got Ty Smith, who offensively has been great. Defensively, I've still had some questions, but he's looked a lot better since the New Jersey Devils have came back, which is fantastic, and I think that overall game can use some work in the NHL this year, but the offense has been one of the best, period, in rookies this year. But as you guys could probably tell, I've been riding Kirill Kaprizov's train for a long time now. I had him as my number 1 guy for the Calder Trophy race for a while as well to start this season, so who really is number 1? Who is my pick for the Calder Trophy? Well, I'm gonna go to a team that the fans accuse me of being a hater of them, but dude, he is just absolutely brilliant. I know picking a goaltender for the Calder is risky, but Kevin Lankinen is the real deal. Kevin Lankinen is the real deal, and if the NHL season ended right now, he is without a doubt my Calder Trophy winner. Let me just read off some of the stats so far. On the Chicago Blackhawks, he has played 13 games so far with a .927 save percentage, a plus 5.58 goals saved above expected, which right now is 4th in the NHL among starters. This man is 4th in the NHL among starters in goals saved above expected, and let me remind you that that whole stat is based on quality of shots and the likelihood of saving them, and Kevin Lankinen has been well above the NHL average, and that stat is not a team stat. That is perfectly individual and perfectly individual goaltending. So it's not like Chicago's defense has been way better this year somehow. It has been Kevin Lankinen truly just raising the bar for the Chicago Blackhawks. To me, he is the Calder Trophy winner this season, and even if he gets down to a .920 save percentage or something like that, I would still have him as one of my tops, if not my favorite still for the Calder Trophy. Just watching the games, Kevin Lankinen has been unbelievable, a huge presence for that Chicago Blackhawks team. Obviously, you can tell is already a team favorite, a fan favorite, and deserves to be. Kevin Lankinen is an awesome guy, awesome gold medal winner in 2019, and an awesome goaltender as well in the NHL. He, to me, is the Calder Trophy winner, and I love me some Kaprizov, but the Kevin Lankinen trade, isn't stopping, baby. But that'll be it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. If you enjoyed, hit that subscribe button, hit that button, and hit that notification bell if you've not already. Make sure you comment down below in the comments down below. What do you agree and disagree with my picks, and who do you see as the winners for the Hart, the Norris, the Vezina, the Calder Trophy, and who do you see as the most improved player as well in the NHL? Let me know, boys, in the comments, and share this video with your friends. Get the award winners out there, and click on this card right here to watch all my predictions and picks videos right in one playlist. My name is Nathan. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video or stream. Sorry for the construction, sorry for the dogs, sorry for the wind. Mother Nature does its thing. I'll see you in the next video or stream, guys. Goodbye.